Today I wanted to share a story of something that recently happened to me and just reminded me of how we can learn from even challenging situations, that the truth of the way things are can reveal themselves in any moment. And so this relates to teachings from the Buddha. And earlier in my life, when I first got in touch with Buddhist teachings, there was a teaching on the Four Noble Truths. It's a quintessential teaching from the Buddha. And it was where, he talks about how there is suffering in life. Suffering that comes from birth, old age, sickness, death, just being a human being. Suffering that comes from cause of suffering, how we relate to all this, how we can identify with our experiences in ways that create suffering, how clinging and grasping and trying to hold on to experience is a cause of suffering. And there can be freedom from suffering. Just because there's suffering doesn't mean that we have to stay stuck in a place of agony, despair, fear, anxiety, that we can find freedom, and that there is a well-worn path that is pointing to the ways to find freedom. And so when I first heard about the Four Noble Truths, it was like, oh, you mean this is just the way things are? That it doesn't mean I'm a failure? It doesn't mean I'm forever doomed to despair? And it really helped to shift a weight off my shoulders. And it pointed to how these challenges in life are workable, how we can really find freedom. So this event the other day was a reminder in that realm. So it was New Year's Eve day, a day here in Australia, as I think in many places, where people prepare to celebrate. A lot goes on. People prepare for holidays. And, that's kind of the spirit in which I woke up. And then it wasn't long before, in the home that I live in, there was a sewage overflow that happened coming into the main part of our home. And it wasn't very pretty. It really made a mess. It did get stopped, and that the rest of the day was spent cleaning it up. And so as I'm cleaning it up, I'm trying to practice. I want to be with what's going on in me. And there is a part that just rallies. You just do it. You just take care of what needs to be taken care of. But as I'm doing it, I had this feeling as if I was just really hollow. And this comes at the tail end of a year where I felt like life had been very dynamic in all facets. From experiencing great gratitude, joy, appreciation, to feeling the loss of a very, very dear friend who passed away, and just how profound that was. So, it wasn't just highs in my life. There was really rich in the ups and downs, and, but that it all felt very vibrant. And on this day, there was just this hollow feeling. And so at one point, I expressed to my husband, Edwin, what I was experiencing. And his response was, oh, that's what Mingyur Rinpoche refers to as pervasive suffering. And of course, I know that, but in that moment of having some stickiness with the pervasive suffering, which, you can just be described as this suffering that comes from really just the day-to-day way we have to meet life, and this, home that's just does its thing, falls apart, or, one teacher I had once described it as you clean your house and then it's dusty again and you have to clean it again. It's just pervasive in the way it is to be a human being within this world. And, just hearing it in that light, suddenly it wasn't me, wrong, bad. It's just the way things are. It really took the personal out of it and a sense of lightening with that. And then, it wasn't as if I was suddenly joyful, elated, but it's just the way things are. And I can be with the sense of hollowness. And, there was this sense you just do what needs to be done. And another lesson that came from that, which I articulated, was it really doesn't matter whose crap it is, you just clean it up. And so it kind of gave me this framework for sometimes when those challenges are, just this again, this too, that we can meet it. We can do this. We can just be with how it is within this too. And so this is just to encourage you in whatever challenges you may face in the coming years, how you can look to it, learn from it, grow from it. And, again, I find myself in a great place of appreciation. So all good wishes for this coming year.